これ生でピンマイクついてたんでした。忘れてました。皆さんよろしくお願いします。どうぞおかけください。いつもハンドマイク持っちゃうんでピンマイクついて忘れてましたね。
So I hold microphone in my hand, so I forgot I'm wearing a microphone. So the title of the session is Making International Urbanization Your Own, Fostering a Global Mindset. My name is Imai. And this time, so actually I belong to IBS. However, I myself is working as a MC. So therefore, today, I'm here today as an MC. So I like you to enjoy this session. And so from Koiso-san, could you introduce yourself? I believe that the slide is ready. So let me start my self-introduction. So my name is Sumina Koiso, the founder and CEO of Newond. So I was born and raised, and also I went to in Osaka and went to university in Osaka. I'm very honored to be here because this is my hometown. And nice to meet you all. And Koiso-san, regarding the topic, so you went to Bangladesh. That experience changed your life, right? Yes, well. So that is a kind of turning point of my life. When I was in the teens, I went to Bangladesh, which made my life change. And next, Noguchi-san, could you introduce yourself? So my name is Noguchi, CEO of Orosy Incorporated. So Orosy is literally translated into a wholesale in Japanese, wholesale in English. So could you introduce your experience when you were young? I myself, in 2012, I started my first business, and I'm now running the second company. So I worked in a typical Japanese company. So I was seeking to living in a life differently from others. So this is my motto. Thank you. Lastly, Fukuda-san, please go ahead. My name is Wakana Fukuda, the CEO of IKIRU LLC and BizWorld Japan. Nice to meet you. So in the screen, we can see hashtags here. So I went to Silicon Valley when I was at high school, and there, so I had very refreshing experiences. So that's why I decided to bring my children to go abroad to study together. And I learned a lot there. So now, by utilizing my own experiences, I am teaching entrepreneurship to kids now. Tabuchi-san, a producer, asked us to send students or younger generation a message. So as far as I'm able to see here that there are not so many students or young generation larger than that grown up. There are many grown up or older generation actually. So today, I'd like to send you a message. Your experience in younger age is extremely important. This is a key message of this session. So I'd like to may talk about the fact that you need to have a kind of entrepreneurship in your mind. So let us start with this topic. I believe that everyone needs to have entrepreneurship in your mind. So, however, when it comes to entrepreneurship, not all the entrepreneur has entrepreneurship. So it's very difficult to say the definition of entrepreneurship. But anyway, it's very important to have our entrepreneurship in mind to grow furthermore. That's why I started my business. So when you first heard about the word entrepreneurship, what did you think about that? Do you agree with that? Well, Maybe at that time, I believe that I had the 30% of entrepreneurship mind back then. What do you mean by that? I had lived in Osaka, but now, my startup business is to support a back office of layoff operations in the United States. But I believe that the very basic of business is to purchase goods at lower price and sell them at higher price to make profit. But when it comes to the definition of business, I'm not sure. On the other hand, entrepreneurship reminds us of startups. So therefore, I like to learn from you about the definition of entrepreneurship. Maybe it's time to ask you, Noguchi-san. I believe that. So how do you think about that? I believe that. Do you think you yourself have entrepreneurship? We shouldn't be so strict when it comes to entrepreneurship. So suppose that. So I plan to come here by train. However, it may take time. In that case, we can take taxi by paying money, or we can ask friends to send me to this venue. So there are many ways we can choose, and I believe that thinking something, or trying to do something is closely connected or linked to the idea or concept of entrepreneurship, I believe. So I believe in that case, I believe that you have a kind of entrepreneurship in mind, and when you emergency, whether or not you can demonstrate the split of entrepreneurship, would change your business or change your life. So when we had a discussion beforehand for this session, so I believe that all of you are so cooperative, but time is very limited, so it's very difficult to send a sufficient message due to time constraint. But so when you like to add the discussion so far, what's your thought on this? I read an article of interview of Noguchi-san, and he said that. So suppose that when we have to enter a kind of a venue, so normally people will buy ticket for admission, but entrepreneurs are the person who try to break into the window to enter the window, so in order to enter the venue. So this is the entrepreneurship, according to the interview. And I personally agree with his idea. So maybe I believe that my entrepreneurship mind is 40%, I believe. So I believe that your explanations are very easy to understand for everybody. So how do you think about just entrepreneurship, Fukuda-san, in your mind? So suppose that when we try to play soccer, so it's not enough just watching the lecture or video instructing me about how to play soccer. That's not enough. We have to try that. In that sense, so I believe that everyone can be an entrepreneur through training, so to speak. So all of you are grown up now, including me, but it's not too late to start anything. So you can start anything at any time. So this is what this slide is about, what you think after being a grown up. Now you have started business, and maybe some audience at some point would like to start business by yourself. I believe that going forward, some of you will have started something new. Okay, now I'd like to ask you, Koiso-san. You mentioned that a way to avoid the biggest risk is to take a risk. This is what you wrote down in this slide. What do you mean by that? when I am in Japan and also in the United States, so I have so many people ask me how to start business. So everyone said to me that you're very bold to start business or start something new. And any idea about how to do that? So in that case, I always said to them that so a way to avoid the biggest risk is to take a risk. This is the saying I always said to counterparts. And actually, a very famous entrepreneur, Mr. Fujita, mentioned the other day that so when we think about leverage, so when we try to start business, I always start from scratch. So therefore, we don't have to. So we will not have anything to be protected. We can be bold. Whenever we try to start something new, so people tend to hesitate to do that because it's fearful in some cases. But so we don't have to be so afraid of starting something new from scratch. Now, the best timing is to start business is to do that when we like to do something. That's why I believe that a way to avoid the biggest risk is to take a risk. I agree with that. I agree with you. So in your case, so you went to many countries and you have been exposed to many different cultures and experiences. So you do think such experiences made you change your mind? Partly, yes. However, so when I started my business, which changed my life significantly. So after graduating my school, I joined a company in Osaka, in Osaka City. At that time, so I enjoyed a lot and learned a lot at them. But so when I decided to start business, I had to do everything by myself. So that kind of experiences was a big turning point to me. Fukuda-san, I don't think. So I also have questions about how to go global or how to be active in other countries. And I believe that a skill helped me a lot. I believe that it's very important to have something useful in my mind. And I also have a question how to improve English and so on. But rather than sticking to speaking English, it's more important to have something, some other skill set that will help you. And when I went to Silicon Valley, so I was saying, I have this kind of idea and I like to do something to that. And then, so people around me always said, why don't you start that? So therefore, so if you have anything and if you have some good idea in mind, so it's very important to step forward. So you need to be bold enough to start something new. Thank you very much. So let me introduce you. So she went to other countries to study when she was 34 years old together with children, and then so she got MBA. So this is very wonderful. This is very impressive. So you mean that you didn't go to abroad when you were young, but at the age of 34. That means that how old you are or what we are, we can start anything at any time. Yes. So it's very important to have rich experiences that can be shared to other people. For example, so I graduated from my graduate school with MBA. Of course, it's very important to study hard, but by studying hard, I was able to get scholarship. So I'm native Osaka. That means that we tend to be very keen to money. So I was working and studying very hard to get scholarship to some extent.
So I was taught by them in front of you that learning the Kansai culture. Do you have any idea or the feelings? So yeah, and I think you can send your own messages. So we talked about the entrepreneurship and how children can acquire entrepreneurship. So I think it can, it's communicable. So after the founding my own business, surrounding the people surrounding me, maybe 4 or 5 people actually started their own business, and also among the employees who are living in Jamaica, and that person just started their own, inn, and they are building. He is building his own house, and although it's not completed, but he just, the start of the applying start the getting the house at a hotel stay, and they don't know and who's gonna come to Jamaica, and also whether they are really getting money for providing with the place to stay, but and they just started. So there are a lot of different levels of entrepreneurs, and it's accelerated looking at them and children and everybody think, and everybody surrounding your children is actually taking a step ahead. Your children is gonna take one step ahead. And I was very much surprised. And in my university, friends said there's no entrepreneur surrounding them. So, Noguchi-san, what do you think? So, and I joined the event where the entrepreneurs get together, and I meet the another person for the next event. So maybe if you take one step further, it's gonna connect to our next level. So, Koiso-san, and when you think about your network of friends, you are actually told that you are unique, or maybe and everybody understands your character. Yes, I actually first set the goals, and also I try to align the people in the community of our goal. So I'm doing the totally different things from my original business. So, and if I want to become a French chef, and if I cannot, I only make the Japanese food, it's not good. So if I come closer to the French chef, I can close to the French chef. So I think it's different. And however, when I start to join and have a communication with them, it's I can be aligned with them, and it's gonna be fit for that community. I totally agree. So if there is a French chef community, how you can try to identify the French chef community? So I think it's not logical, but it's just taking actions. If I find something and I try to access to them, and you have the friends and who knows about the French chef community, I will contact. And if I don't know any of the person, I will post some of the information. I'm looking for this kind of community. The Noguchi-san is talking about the entering into the event through the window, but regardless of any method, I will take actions. So we talked about the very positive and aggressive stories, but so for the last 10 minutes, I'd like to talk about the different things. So you have an overseas experience, so you have a kind of background for the entrepreneurship. So you really need to take actions when you grow up. So I think Koiso-san and Noguchi-san, you you were put in that such situation. So that's why you need to take action. So, and sometimes the people cannot take actions because when they think too much. So that's maybe connect to the entrepreneurship. So in order to, nurture such entrepreneurship mindset, it's maybe very difficult. So I would like to ask Fukuda-san about this. If you say it's very difficult, you are avoiding having discussion. So within the program, keeping the income statement and also the keeping the book. So if the parents or the adult says it's difficult, they got a mindset that it's difficult. But the same as that, entrepreneurship, when I communicate entrepreneurship, it's, the way of communication. Like, and if I say it's cool or maybe it's difficult, so, I don't add any kind of, the expressions, like, they really need to feel it. So there is a Noguchi-san's career and a pitch. So when I look at that, so the business model is very smart, and also, and you are focusing on the France and the US. I think it's distinguished. So I cannot mimic you. So I feel jealous about you. So that kind of feeling I get. So I'm, when you're, how do you encourage me to do that? So I myself feel like you, like, so maybe and some of the entrepreneurship is super special, and they can produce great results. So the same feeling I sometimes have. So maybe when I think about time they spent and also the actions they took. So when I think about the time they spend and maybe it's not enough. So when I look at me and feel something like that, so maybe it's just time. So, but in 2 to 3 years' time, he's going to achieve the same thing. So thank you very much for encouraging me. So if you have any questions from the floor, I'd like to take questions. Any questions from the floor or no? So I cannot see your face because it's a reflection of the light. So, and the panelists, if you have any questions to the another panelist. So you were born in Osaka and raised in Osaka. Why you think you would like to establish a company in the US? So I'm saying that I'm, doing the business in the U.S., but I just visited the U.S. 2 years ago, and I just started the English just this last March. So we just, I just started the company in the U.S., and when I went to the U.S., I really feel the need to learn English. So 2 years ago, at that time, I can speak Japanese. However, at that time, I couldn't speak English. And Japanese founder who are, trying to start a business in the U.S., I was inspired by them. And one person said that person can be a mentor of me. So when I traveled to Bangladesh, I had a mindset that I'd like to work globally. And however, that mentor changed my mindset. So any questions from the floor? So they need a microphone. I'm sorry, we cannot hear his voice. Thank you very much. So for the entrepreneurship educational program I'm involved in is for the high school and the junior high school students. There are challenges. Entrepreneurship education not just not limited to starting their own business. Entrepreneurship is necessary capability for all of them. However, there is no such recognition. So the participants and the parents' understanding level is very low. So that is a challenge that we are facing. How I can, overcome these challenges. So based on your experience, if you have any advice or input. So I think if we ask Fukuda-san, she has her own answer. It's entrepreneurship. So I'm not saying, we are not just saying, focusing on the starting their own business. And, their parents tend to be, salaried workers. So they are actually hesitant for entrepreneurship. So however, when something happens like a COVID pandemic, and there are people, someone who just, stop doing anything, or maybe they want to, take actions. And some of the people would like to start their own business, and also some of the people would like to support their businesses. So there are some selections or the options. So the reading, learning, and calculations. So these are the basic skills, and utilizing these skills, how we can, change the world. So that is the skills, the entrepreneurship is one of the skills, the same as that. So this is a specific how. When we make the products and how the users can use our products, so when we think about that, one solutions and one products cannot, satisfy all of them. So if there are 4 or 5 participants, maybe you really need to, hear their opinions, their own and expectations, and also maybe you can create, the learning plan, and also just provide a program. So it's easier to listen, not just thinking about it. So in this context, I think the Koiso-san's pivoting is similar to that. So originally, she was a vendor for the VR creation, and in the process of the creation of the VR, so there are some people who are doing their own business and who are being laid off. However, so she thought that maybe the people who do the layoff may have a problem. So that was the idea when she started her own business. And Excel, I really like it. And I wanted to focus on the Excel for my whole career. However, the Japan and overseas is totally different. And when we are successful in Japan and bring that business to the US, it's not going to work. So when I traveled to Japan and traveled to the US and tried to provide my own business, wasn't successful. So I really need to change the way of doing things. So I think the expanding, that kind of scope is very important. So maybe you can contact us if you need any assistance. So any other questions from the floor? No? Okay. So I think the entrepreneurship are actually disseminated to you all. So I'd like to come to the conclusion. So we are trying to think about the global, and we want the students to join the Hack Osaka. So that was the idea. However, entrepreneurship and when you go abroad and exposed to the overseas culture, and you maybe can get the courage to take one step ahead. So it may be better, but so you have already grown up and you have positions and titles. However, if you have some children in front of you who have a very bright future, and I want you to expand the scope of them, create an environment so that they can have their entrepreneurship mindset. So I'd like to ask the one word for one final word. Koiso-san. So one word I'd like to say is, so from the doubts to the students, I think this may be something that you should do, but however, I really need to do something on my own. What are the identities established by my parents close to them? So parents get empowered me, and also my parents continue to learning. So regardless of the work jobs they are doing, I respect them. Whether they respect them or not is very important. So educator side, the respect for the students is very important. So this is just my feeling. Thank you very much for Koiso-san. Noguchi-san, please.
So you need to say what you want to do, and also you need to say your concern. So this is the first step, I think. So actually, I'm very nervous on the stage, and also you're maybe very nervous when you try to make a question here. And when you make any statement here, maybe there will be someone who notice you to communicate with you later. So this kind of opportunity is highly important. Fukuda-san. So from the perspective of parents, I like to make a comment. When children say something, don't deny it. You need to support and help such children. So you need to believe in what children said. So don't be suspicious of what children say. So this is my comment. That's all. Thank you. We enjoyed a lot this session, and outside this room, we are standing outside the room after this session. So I believe that Osaka will have so many athletes of big event going forward, and by taking the opportunity of Expo 2025 next year, so we like to be excited to make Osaka a more vibrant city. Thank you very much.